thank you for joining us on this lovely Monday night. We are the Black Super Friends. And when I say we, I mean us and you. We are all Black Super Friends. Thank you for showing up tonight.
Fool me, 'cause I'm addicted to the good life. Yeah, either way, I follow. No need to say where we are heading now, babe. I follow.
Thank you. I will be your host tonight. The amazing, the magnificent, the awesome. I don't even know how many other adjectives I could give myself. Chris Leo. But it ain't about me. This is about the other three guys I got with me. Tonight I'm going to introduce them. Right next to me is the orchestrator of this whole band that we have. His name, he go by the name of ASAP Bluto. Can you give me an explanation on that?
All right. Well, first of all, that's my rap name. Because, see, a lot of jokers don't really give no love to chunky dudes. So now that I put on some weight, you might as well adapt. I still can freestyle time to time. Not going to do that tonight. But, you know what I mean? As soon as possible, Bluto. That's what you know what I'm saying? West Side Chicago, they know about me, though. For real.
Man, that's crazy because we used to really, really love pleasantly plump rappers, Heavy D, Biggie Smalls, what's his name, Chubb Rock. The kids don't know what they're missing. I'm gonna go down right below me to the international, and I do mean international ladies man. Zay, talk to me tonight.
What it do, my brother? As you see, I'm sporting the lovely Black Super Friends podcast mug. Get you one. It's the time. It's that season. And as he said, it is brandished with that international ladies man. Who is I? I'm great. How y'all guys doing? I just wanted to share that with y'all. Support some black guys.
Yes. Cheers. Support. Buy a mug. Last but definitely not least, we have the Prince of Pan-Africanism, Super Mario Hardy. Talk to me.
Hey, I'm just happy to be here with y'all, man. 4 black men on the screen. Hey, what else you need, man? Thank y'all for coming.
Oh, man. Thank you. Look, before we get into it, it was an amazing night, weekend in sports. How did your teams do? Let's start with Zay.
Go to
hell.
Go to hell.
We'll skip. DeMario, what about your team?
In true fashion, we won again.
Oh, man.
This is nothing new. You knew that.
Oh, close game. It was really good. We look really good. We look forward to meeting you in these playoffs. Horace, what about your team? Or should we have a moment of silence for the career of Tom Brady? Let's bow our heads. Go on, my brother.
First off, I thank you for that, Chris, because y'all been saying that for 15, 20 years about Tom Brady. He's done. And what does he ride off of? Motivation from people like yourself. Now, see, I'm different from other people on the screen. I know when my team gonna lose because the Dolphins and different people get over here and be like, we're gonna win. You know you have no chance. Me, San Francisco looks nice. They got that new pick, was it McCaffrey? They got a solid defense. So I didn't expect to win. So I could be realistic with that. Tom Brady, even in defeat, they're at the top of the division. You know, you never know what can happen with Tom Brady. The NFL is behind him. So I like my chances.
That's a very, very, very competitive division you got yourself there. Although we won this weekend, I feel for my 49ers. I don't think that we have a playoff quarterback. I hope so. You know, I hope with these games you get enough experience. Debo, that's a tough loss. Really, really tough loss. I hope the defense can withstand that. But I love what I see with Kyle Shanahan, man. I think he's over there doing an amazing job coaching. We'll see you in the playoffs. But while we're on sports, man, I think something remarkable, amazing. We've seen something that we have never ever seen in my life before. We seen for the first time a WNBA trade made the news. For the first time, Brittany Griner was released from prison, from Russian prison in a prisoner swap with Victor Boot. He's known as the missionary of death. They made a movie about him, God of War. I don't know what we got going on. I think this is going to be a play for the Democrats, but we'll talk about it. Horace, I'm gonna start with you. Tell me what you think.
You are a professional, man.
You are a professional.
Damn it, man. Hey, before I go to my answer, how about I'm gonna bring some estrogen on the screen, and then I'll go ahead with mine, because it is a woman coming on the screen. I'm pretty sure her perspective may be a little different, but I'll go first. That way I can give some insight on what's the correct answer. How about that? So this person is a public figure. She's very big on social media, so her thoughts will be interesting, especially the reels that she do. I'm going to introduce Cheryl Couture. Welcome to the band. Hello. You like my introduction?
Hey,
What's happening?
don't do that, Horace.
Okay. Well, listen. Welcome to the crew. Let me give my answer about Brittany Griner, because, listen, I know all week people had so much to say about Brittany Griner getting out of jail, and people, had their different takes. I'm happy the dude got out of jail. It's big, how to say it. Listen, I love the movie, and I just want to say, don't fall for the propaganda, because Victor has been doing interviews. Listen to some of the interviews that Victor doing, bro. It's very interesting, his take. So they painted this man there, and he's a businessman, so you kind of can't frown on him. But at the end of the day, man, I'm hoping I'm happy my homeboy got home. That's it. That's the end of it, dog. Being over in prison, that couldn't have been good for him. He back home with his wife, and respectfully, people will learn to. What does Judge Mathis say? Ignorance of the law is no excuse. You got to know what country you're in and their laws and respect it. That's it.
Absolutely.
Welcome home, homeboy.
Absolutely. Before we get started, I'd like to highlight our guest, Cheryl. Thank you for joining us tonight. We wanted to get a female perspective on this. But before we go into your business and your accolades, I want to hear your take on this situation. What do you think?
I'm glad she's home. I don't have no opinion on that at all.
Oh, thank you for coming prepared.
No, I don't. I'm.
Okay. We'll get you next time.
You don't want to hate me.
They already hate me on social media, so I'm not going to say nothing about her and what she got going on. I just know she know better next time.
She might not go back.
Zay, what you
If
think?
she's still playing for the WNBA or whatever she do, then if they go back over there, what's she gonna do? She can't go?
No.
She's traumatized. She got to sit down with that FMLA or something.
Okay.
Yeah. But no, I'm glad to see her home. I don't never want to see nobody in prison. That's not it. I do think we got to change our moniker, though. We do deal with terrorists. I don't know, but we do. We definitely let him out. I think they could at least did a 2-for-1. I think he was pretty much a big deal. You could have got Paul Whelan home too, but that's a discussion for another day. They didn't shed any light on him. I guess he wasn't important. He was only doing y'all work, which is crazy, but that show you how they do you. But Brittany Griner's home, or BG. What about you, Harlan?
Some people think Some people think it's the wrong BG. Demario, what?
A lot of them.
I kind of felt like Cheryl. I'm confused in so many angles and so many ways about this situation because it just don't make sense. I've been trying, you know me, I always try to look at another way of looking at this, trying to make sense out of it. And the more you look into it, the more it don't make sense. Like even from the Democratic position, I'm really trying to find a way because you had a so-called spy that was over there. It would have been more beneficial to bring him home because he's an American hero. Then you had so many other things you could have did to uplift or overlook this because she was wrong, even though we know that what she got was she was over sentenced, but she was wrong. But you could have brought some other people home or some other. I'm just saying politically, I just don't. And then it's just like everybody just ignoring so much stuff in this, and it's just like I'm trying to look for like what's behind the curtain of all this. So I'm just waiting to see what made this happen because like Zay said, for all my life I've heard we don't negotiate with terrorists. In the first time on the public, this might not have been the first time, but the first time on a public scale, we trade a WNBA player that got caught with a weed cartridge for a mass arm dealer. So the first time you break your rule, you do it like that. That's like somebody saying I don't have sex and then they go out and do a bang bros. I don't know what's going on, but I'm just saying it's something fishy in there.
Before you go, Horace, I got to give my take. Here's the thing. I'm happy she's home. I want to say that first and foremost. I am happy she's home. In this patriarchal society that we live in, we went over there and risked everything, exhausted all our resources to get a WNBA player. So I want to say first and foremost, I'm thankful that she's home. My thing is this: where's the accountability? Okay, she's home now. Cool. Where's the accountability? What she did in Russia is illegal here. She can't take that stuff on the plane. So it ain't like she just went over there and just broke a rule that ain't even a rule here. She did wrong. Where's all the black women and the LGBTQ community here to chastise her? How did she learn from this? Because we're not saying anything. Matter of fact, she didn't have to get off that plane and answer questions similar to what Kyrie have to answer about an anti-Semitic post. She didn't have to answer any question. They just gave her a pass for it. Matter of fact, I think the first time she do an interview, she's probably going to monetize this dumb decision. This is what we do. We don't hold women accountable for making a mistake. I want all the grandmothers, I want all the black women to say, hey, look, we're glad you're home, but that was a dumbass decision here. You shouldn't have did this. Maybe she should take some classes. Maybe she should take some drug awareness classes. But she needs to be held accountable for this. She calls us to negotiate with terrorists. She calls us to release a man that's involved in killing other Americans. That means something. So in this patriarchal society, we need to thank the men on this one. Horace, what you think?
First of all, let me double back. You guys are being very disrespectful. Brittany Griner identifies as a dude. I'm going to respectfully respect her decision to be a dude. So she's a dude. Stop saying she. She doesn't want to be a she. She's a dude. Second of all, we are the worst chess players in the world because, like everyone keeps saying, first off, the propaganda on Victor is kind of not also accurate. I want y'all to go Google Victor. Victor is an arms dealer, meaning y'all two fighting, what you need, boom. What you need, boom. He just equip everybody. So him actually killing people personally, he is not. Can he be related to say, yeah, he sold the tanks and the weapons that killed some people in war? That's how America do. But Paul Whelan, you got so many Americans over in the Russia jail. How can you not bring them home? But the power of the LGBT community is all Biden was focused on. And that's what it's all about. Me trying to run for re-election, appease the LGBT community, and I'm going to run off that in 2 more years. Because the reality is, I don't care how mad people get. You can't say nothing about them, but that didn't make sense at all. And there's nothing personal against Brittany, but you, during a war, a global war, you release the plug, you got to be kidding me. You got to be.
Notice how spunky they got ever since he been home, too. They've been popping stuff.
And the most dangerous part is he has stuff that's behind enemy lines. They don't even know where he hid most of the stuff he had. So say he's going at it with Ukraine. who's to say right now he doesn't have stuff behind enemy lines that he can activate for so and so? So, hey, that's all I got because I can go on and on about that. But that's not why I showed up tonight. Go ahead, Chris. No,
okay. Here we go. Here's the thing. There's what not just the Tampa Bay Buccaneers got blown out this weekend. That's not the only team that got blown out. I'd like to say that the City Boys have went up at least 1,000 points over the weekend. From Diddy having a baby on the older City girl to Derrick Jackson. Derrick Jackson asking for divorce of his wife and being caught in Miami with another woman. Now, I'm going to be the one to say it. I know nobody want to say it, but that woman is batshit crazy. And I can understand why he decided that he did not want to be married to that woman anymore, or possibly why he cheated. If you would ever get a chance to look at her Instagram, it is a show. But I do want to highlight she put a curse on all of us that said anything to her. So I don't have no mercy with her getting on that TV. I mean on that internet, casting voodoo spells on everybody. So I don't have no mercy for her. But I'm not married. Let's talk about it. Let's talk to a man that is married. DeMario, what do you think about the Derrick Jackson situation?
No, call it Bonnet Gate. That's what we call it.
Okay.
It depends from one thing for sure. I am married, so I always tread lightly on throwing rocks, because I stay in the house, so I never know when I'm gonna fail or fall short in life. I'm trying my best every day, but you just never know. So I don't never want to be a hypocrite and point the finger at everybody. So, but I feel for what he was doing, he is the poster child for a hypocrite. And I think that's why even on this show, I always tread lightly on talking about people who, they do stuff wrong in their marriage and they do this, or how men treat women who not just because I am married. I always try to tread lightly on those subjects, because when you start doing this at people all around the world are going to be so happy and waiting for you to fail. And then the mockery of it is this. So many times I've seen his videos. I've seen him sit there. I've seen him look in the camera. And I've seen him chastise men at the highest level. Not saying that what he was saying was not true. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that you cannot be the messenger if your actions are not backing up your words, because then it throws out the whole message. And it's just sad because he continued to do it. He continued to do it. Then I just sent y'all the thing to say, oh, he creeping back. He had just started back his show again. He had just started getting his followers back up. He bought him some new leather jackets. He started sitting back in front of some nice lighting. He was back. He started out smooth. He didn't go too hard this time. He like eased into it, just bigging up women, not really tearing down men as much. He was like starting off then the last video went back to his men. Women are not going. I said, the next thing you know, I think I sent this to y'all 3 days, and then 3 days later, Tasha K, who don't play, sprung him again. Then the lady who I seen who did the voodoo spells and everything, I guess when she shook her rocks that Sunday, she just had enough, and she just went ahead and signed the papers, because her voodoo spell is supposed to work and cast out all evil tricks and hoochies that approach her man. And I think that didn't work as much in her behalf. So I think that Derrick is in a long. I don't know what he's gonna do from now on. He can't play football, and he can't tell us men to shut the hell up no more and how to treat women. So I'm looking forward to see what Mr. Jackson got going for his next podcast special.
Pimping all around
Cheryl, we gotta have a female perspective on this. I got a question though. Is this your king?
Absolutely not.
Talk to
me. I didn't like Derrick Jackson. He I've dealt with a narcissist before, so I can tell what one is. He's definitely one. When I seen the whole wife come out the first time he got caught, first time we know he got caught cheating, I was just like, this don't even make sense. Then, they paint the picture of they've been together since college and all this other stuff. But I'm just like, you're over here, this supposedly sex symbol to women, and then your wife over there looking like that, and you expect us to believe that you're gonna be faithful to her, sir? Can I cuss on here?
Do what you want.
We do it all the time.
So, and then women like, I'm not your average woman. I don't think like most women do. Like everybody was just like, oh, he this, he that, and I'm thinking the opposite. I wasn't what's the guy that died? What's his name?
Kevin.
I wasn't a fan, but I understood his way of thinking was more, I can receive that more than what Derrick Jackson was putting out, like the BS he was putting out. So I was just like, okay, if you really want to improve, you need to listen to people who are quote unquote chastising you and telling you what a man actually want. When a guy say what women want, it don't, how you gonna, you're not a woman. So you can't, I know you've been through your experiences and everything, but you can kind of gauge where women are or whatever, but you can't really say what women want. And once again, all women ain't created the same either. But the whole situation, it was only a matter of time. And then when she did get on there talking all that mess, I'm like, she should have just cussed and get it over with. Like, you doing all this. God was like, get somebody else to do it. How about this? Let me just go ahead and just tear this up real quick so everybody can see what's really going on, and you go about your business and let him go about his. And then on top of that, why do she have a infidelity recovery boot camp? So now she finna monetize off of women because she done got cheated on publicly, and they finna go to her page being nosy, see that, and sign up. I got cheated on too. Let me see what she got to say after she just damned y'all to hell and made your kids be vagabonds on the earth. Girl, if you don't get out my face, man. That's how I feel about that. Sorry.
I thought we having Cheryl on the show. We got Charles. What's your take on this? What is your take on this situation?
You call me? Me?
No, I'm talking about Chuck. I'm calling for you though.
Oh, I can go now? Thank you. Listen.
It's your turn.
Man, you know how I felt about Derrick Jackson, but it just proves what I said about women. It ain't about the message, it's about the messengers. So they seen him, they thought he looked good looking dude. He'd be on there with the Three Musketeer sweaters and all of that, and then be talking. And first of all, and this and this, and then I thought he was either gay, he like white women, until I seen the wife. Now let me give you some credit, Danae Jackson, whatever your name is. Take that spell back, I'm gonna give you a compliment. That girl was fine before she met him. Go back. She was a good looking chick. She got a nice figure, had a little style. What that narcissist did was so brilliant that he ended up going, he ain't just F her over. He went and mentally downgraded her for his own insecurities and comfort. So now I seen the girl in the pool with a whole outfit on in the pool talking about Holy Girl Summer. Like, bruh, I say, yeah, church girls, don't never get that nutty. Do not be nutty at this squirrel shit, because that's what happened here. She was trying to beat up for her man. He made a fool of her. I have seen it over and over. Until she cursed everybody to hell, I felt sorry for her, because like a lot of situations, you love this dude, you want it to work, and you don't have the courage to say, Negro, get out my face. Anybody outside the box can say, bro, you full of S. But this goes back to women. This is an indictment on women. You hated Kevin Samuels, but you embraced these clowns like that brother Derrick Jackson. Hey, a broke clock is right twice a day, but y'all can't get over the visual of somebody. I say cool shit all the time, you know? So maybe if I go and put on one of those shirts with the muscles on here, well, I take off overnight. So that's my take on Derrick Jackson. Y'all hated Kevin Samuels, but loved Derrick Jackson. And this man was the Tyler Perry character of his dreams. So, yeah, I'm sorry.
It's my take. Before we go to Zay, I want to go back to something Cheryl said. You said because we are men, we can't tell women about women. Am I getting that correct?
Something like that.
See that I push back on that simply because to get women, you must know them. As a man, since women don't just come to us, we have to hunt for them. We have to understand women just to get them to approach us, just to get them to be intimate with us, just to get them to go on dates. So we have to have extensive study of women to know women, to get women. There's no other way. The man that does not know anything about women will not get women. Another thing you said was, I forgot. You said something, it was at the end. I can't. You said that you don't know about women because every woman is different. Anytime I hear a woman say that every woman is different, then I can't take her advice about women because she knows nothing about women. Because if it's one thing men have to learn is that most women are similar. They're not all different. They're mostly similar. So that's something that you pick up by dating women and interacting with women a lot, especially how we experience women. As a man, our experience on women is a lot different. But I don't want to go all the way into that. Zay, what is your perspective on the Derek Jackson situation?
Hold on, commercial break. Hold up, first and foremost, Cheryl, hey, what's happening, Shawty C?
Hey, how you doing?
All right, long time no see. I didn't properly greet you. You're right. So before we get into your business ventures hours, Black Super Friends podcast, I just commercial break. Come on, season's greetings. We're trying to tell you to support 4 Black men that's doing something positive. We're gonna get to one of them cool shirts that he was talking about too, so he can be the new Derek Jackson. He gonna be ASAP Bluto though. We're gonna get him now. For the Derek Jackson situation, don't have much to say because we said it a long time ago. We knew he was a fuddy duddy. I don't take pride in marriages going the wrong way because we're all trying to promote Black love. It's a shame what he did, living that lie right in front of people's face, playing in people's face for money. But it happens all the time. And, that's the end of it. That's what happened. The end result is what you got. So I don't have anything bad to say about the guy because y'all knew it. And if you didn't know it, you felt it. So it was just a matter of time. That's it. Simple as that.
Y'all being so mature tonight.
No, what you gonna say?
Y'all got tricked again, ladies. That's all I got. Sorry.
They know it.
While we're taking score of the City Boys, man, what do you guys think about Diddy having a whole other baby on Carisha? Now I don't want to. I understand this is a little gossipy, but at the same time, man, I like to think that this shows that city girls are fun, but other women are the ones that you're gonna have babies with. You don't just have babies with city girls like that. I don't know much about the other woman, but her profession leads me to believe that she's more of a moderate, calm down woman and not a city girl. So I think this goes to show. I think this should be looked at as a lesson. You can city girl all you want to, but no, you're not gonna get taken seriously. You're probably gonna get disposable cash from a rich man, which is again disposable cash. But hey, to each his own. Zay, do you got anything you want to input on this situation?
It's a lot. So I think she knows what she signed up for. Baby told us a long time ago, it's not tricking if you got it. They're not in a relationship. She understands the assignment. It's the reason why she's not upset. She ain't come for no babies. If she get a baby, she's no longer a city girl. She won't be bad. He won't be, that disposable cash won't go that way. It'll go another way. And it's I think it's an agreement that love has down. Like, don't get me wrong, the chick that had the baby, I don't know if they call that a surrogate or whatever that is, but that was what it was. Ain't no relationship really there. He just, multiplying on the earth because he got it like that. He okay. And as long as their communication lines are all right, I think that they all right too. She might just be a little butthurt for academics being a bitch and getting in women's business and starting stuff online. But as far as that, his household was straight. She wasn't tripping. Everybody else was tripping about why she wasn't tripping. He had everything understood, and she already knew. I don't know why everybody else is up in arms about it. Ain't none of our business. I keep telling y'all that's rich people business. I ain't got enough money to have a real care in the world about who Puff Daddy put his joy juice in and what his side ladies feel. Just don't matter to me. But I don't know. I hear y'all take.
But to address you and Robin in the comments, we're putting on the show, it's content, and so we have to talk about it. I think on a community level and a cultural level, it is something to talk about. But Horace, do you got anything to say? Because Zay seems to be like it's beneath him.
On that, yeah, he be on that bullshit sometimes. I'm about to talk like Charleston Black tonight. Yeah, he be on that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, goddamn content. Yeah. Listen, all day I get news alerts about stuff that's not news. Brittany Griner wants to talk. Brittany Griner dunked in practice. Brittany Griner did this. Oh, Diddy got a new baby. Here's how she look. These be news alerts that you get all day. And you know who shares most of the shit on social media? That guy right there, Xavier, what's the name? Buford McClarty shared all that stuff all day. So listen, you can't say it's beneath you because that's all you see all day. Some of the stories I'd be like, how is this media? How is this relevant to anything? But it's water cooler talk. It get people to talking. Yeah, to be honest, as a culture, don't act like we don't love drama. People love drama. Academics in Miami going back and forth. Yeah, that was it today. Because in reality, real bad. Remember that? We together real bad. And this man over here fucking Juice over there. So, you know, it's almost like social media is a reality TV show in itself. You know what I mean? I personally ain't gonna get sued because I feel some ways about Diddy. But, you know, I feel a way about a lot of men just having kids. Yeah, you got enough money to have the kids, but those kids gonna grow up wishing they had you. Time is an investment too. Mm-hmm. They're gonna live a good life, but damn, do they have any memories with you? You know what I mean? So that's why I get mad with what the little sick dude, Nick Cannon, doing. He in the hospital now. He need his strength. Stop having all these goddamn kids. You know what you got. I'm sorry, Cheryl, but that's how I felt.
Well, and correction, Cheryl? Just a correction. Hold on, just a correction, sir. Okay. Their business isn't beneath me. I'm beneath it. I said I don't have enough money to have an input on what them people got going on. It's all but I'm saying, bro. I see it. I did because God, hey, listen, goddamn, I can only aspire to be what he's doing right now. I want to be that though. It's the difference. But anyhow, I'm aspiring to get the money.
All right. As a retired reformed ex-city girl, Cheryl, I want to get your your take on this situation.
Who said I was a city girl?
I said retired.
Yeah. Who said I got to be a city girl to retire from? Like I was never a city girl. I was listen, I was married in the house. Okay. That's where I was at. But if I was, like I said, they have an arrangement. One thing I think a lot of people jump to conclusions with is relationships. Your relationship, whatever you define it as with your partner, is what it is. People want to put you in the spotlight of, oh, that's his girlfriend and that's his. No, when he cut that allowance on her, she cut his ass off. He brought that allowance back. He know what she there for. He know what she there for. She know what she's there for. So at the end of the day,
we the one did that. We the one said they was together. That was our word.
Public. Social media is putting them together. Not the black super friends, the social media people. They putting them in a relationship that they're not even in themselves.
No, she said they were. Those are her
for content on a podcast.
Oh, okay, that's what it was. Gotcha.
You didn't tell because he was just like, "Oh, we together."
You seen his face?
So
I told you that.
Yeah. So they know what they're doing, and she's not upset about it. She ain't mad. He probably even told her what was going on. The baby was born 2 months ago. The baby wasn't born yesterday. So it's just like at the end of the day, she knew what was going on, because if she was really mad, she would have went to Twitter. You know, that's her go-to. And what she found out 2 months ago. So she ain't like, oh my God, you know, if she ain't mad, I ain't mad. If she like it, I love it. That's it.
You know, should be mad, Chris. You know, should be mad. I don't know if it's true because most of that stuff just be for clickbait. I think what her allowance, what she was getting was like ridiculous type figures. And I'm like, all these artists on my name got paid. Huh?
Do we know all this information?
Yeah, that's what they put out. Talking about what she got for allowance. I don't know which one of them put out there. And I'm like, bro, I'd be mad as hell as an artist. You got my money? You tricking off with it? They don't shoot the shit at you. Bro, shoot the shit at you. My money. You tricking off? My bad, Mario.
How many businesses did he got?
How many people he effed over? Well, it's music. Yeah. It is what it is.
Business for each person he done messed over too. So
Yeah, at least he buried you though.
Very true.
Super Mario. My bad, Chris.
No, Cheryl, I agree with what she said. The baby was 2 months ago, so you're not gonna tell me that Young Miami didn't know. I think she exactly know what she. But I heard her say on several occasions, "I'm having fun." Now, if she's smitten by Diddy, I would expect the 26-year-old to be smitten by a 50-year-old who's a billionaire. So, of course, she's over heels for him. But one thing for sure, I don't think it's a loss. If she walk away with a higher grade of connections and opportunities, and she don't have a baby, then she won. Because that other girl who we're talking about right now, today, next Monday, we won't be talking about, and she'll be having to deal with that child saying, "Why I haven't seen my daddy?" If he don't see Diddy, and I don't want to put that on Diddy, because I did want to push back on. I think a lot of times we always see like Nick Cannon thing, and like I heard Horace said, I hear a lot of people push back on Nick Cannon by having kids, and I'm saying everything people saying is true. Great, like you having all these kids because you're rich, but they want you, right? But I don't hear people coming down on the guy that had a child and he works 3 jobs and he never see his child because he was broke as fuck and he was fucking. What about him? I don't hear nobody jumping on him. I don't hear nobody jumping on the guy who I got to work 3 jobs because you're not seeing your kids either. So right now, if I fly my kids on my private jet to the Hamptons for a whole summer and pay for their college, but you work 3 jobs, I don't see you and I still don't get nothing from you. Which one is worse? Because I know a lot of daddies out here who got 2 kids and who don't see their kids either because they work, not because they're not trying to be a good daddy, but because they honestly trying to be a good daddy. But they didn't go to school, they don't have no trades, and so they have 2 dead-end jobs. And so now for 40 years, they're going to be busting their butt and angry half their life, coming home, self-medicating, or not seeing their kids. So that's just another story. But I always hear people talk about rich people who have a lot of kids. But what about these broke-ass people who have a lot of kids and nobody's saying nothing to them? Because not a lot, just one. If you can't, my whole thing was you shouldn't have kids if you can't take care of them. I don't care if it's 1, 2, a half. And there's a lot of people out here who enjoying the abundance of life and just thinking that's all you have to do as a daddy. And I'm sorry, that's just my little rant right there. I think it's a lot more life than just, "Hey, how you doing, son?" And take him to, park matters too, but you can't feed him off the park. And I don't see none of Diddy's kids doing pretty bad in life right now. None of them. Even the one he took care of that wasn't his, Quincy. Mm-hmm. So before I cast stones at a man who had a baby, I'm gonna look at his track record and say he took care of all his kids, even the one that wasn't his. He gave opportunity to all his kids, even the one that wasn't his. So if Diddy has a child, I'm gonna say off this man's track record, that child's gonna be in pretty good hands with Diddy as his daddy.
Well, I think I heard Andrew Tate say this, and I thought it was profound. He said fathers shouldn't strive to be second mothers; they should strive to be impactful fathers. So you may not be able to give the same time as a mother, but the time that you can give, be impactful. Your resources is vitally important, not just for them on a day-to-day basis, but in their future. So instead of you striving to just be the second mother and be there all the time, you have to find, I don't want to say a balance because it's more on you to be the provider of that child, but try to find more time to see them. I understand what DeMario's saying, that a person that's working 2 dead-end jobs don't have a lot of time either, but it's good. I think you got to be able to get the right mixture of time and balance. Going on to this next topic, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but this has been swirling around in the news a lot more. Recently, we heard about it on the Breakfast Club with Dr. Umar Johnson, the whole theory of polygamy and poly lifestyle. Dr. Umar's take on it was basically saying that our alpha male is deserving of a poly lifestyle because of their instinctual need or want for other women. What are you guys' takes on the poly lifestyle? Is it for you? What do you think? Do you look bad on it? Do you think it's good? What is your feeling on the poly lifestyle? I'm gonna start with you, Cheryl. Or Chuck, or
Y'all.
Polyandry for women.
Y'all. Either way, it don't go for me. I don't try not. Let me be careful with my words because I see Chris trying to like nitpick on everything.
Analyze every single one that come out your mouth.
So a poly lifestyle, I feel, it's for mature people who can handle dealing with, multiple people, personalities, moods, and all this stuff like that. I'm not that mature. I'm just leave it at that.
No.
I can't leave it there.
No.
Whichever one
I can't drop mine right now.
You guys want to go after that?
No, because Cheryl makes these videos and Cheryl will share her thoughts and have a whole goddamn entourage behind her. So no, I don't know if what happened tonight.
I just don't agree with that lifestyle. I don't agree with that lifestyle. It's not something that I'm into. You know what I mean? It's some people. For me, I feel like people who they just settling or they kind of like desperate or they just whatever. To me, it will never make sense to me because I don't want it to make sense to me because that's not what I'm intrigued by. I don't need two niggas in my face. I don't want to be in the bed with another woman or whatever they do. I just don't want it. I'm too selfish. I need all mine all the time. That's it.
Interesting.
Whoever could do it, kudos. But outside of that, I ain't the girl. Don't recruit me. I'm okay.
Chris.
Yeah. Okay.
One of you guys posted that. Yeah, I'm taking. One of you guys posted that, and the way Dr. Umar presented it, I thought the analogy made people be like, "Wait, hold up." But when he threw the animal kingdom thing in, whether it's a lion, whether it's a rooster, like alpha male. I personally don't do poly. If I had some more money, I can't say what I would do, but I don't do poly. I've never even had a threesome before, so I'm real private, like one-on-one. But listen, for poly, I think in Western society frowns upon it, but when you go around the world in different countries, poly is a thing. You know why? Because everybody always thinks about it as a sexual thing, when the reality is one man as the nucleus, and they have different women. It's almost like extensions of the family. So people say they don't do poly, but your uncle been doing poly for years, especially Jamaican dudes. So, hey, I know too many dudes. That little white van up the street from us. A lot of people been in poly relationships and just didn't know it or want to agree with it. So, if they
don't know it, then how they in it?
That's right.
Listen,
that ain't really poly to me.
That's not poly, right?
Xavier, somebody up the street was in a pilot when you think about it. That white man.
Was.
Thank you.
No, that was different. But me and Cheryl were talking about from that Jamaican aspect. Them niggas be lying, boy. I love them. Them my people, boy. Them some slick. Yes, they do. Them some slick jokers. Family on top of family on top of family. I know because I'm a part of one. I'm just saying.
Got them.
But go ahead.
All right. I got a confession. That's it.
I remember we had a show like this early in our broadcasting, and me and Demario had different opinion on it. I want to see if his opinions still are the same, and see if we still differ because I believe so. What do you think, Demario?
I'm for one, I'm a Christian, so let me start by saying that. So I'm gonna go off biblically. I feel like that I only need one woman. For one, I feel like I can only afford one woman, like Horace alluded to. So let me go there. Then I feel like the time that it takes and the understanding it takes, I feel like, hey, if that works for you, because I can't say it can't work. I say I don't want to try. I don't want to do it. And that's just not something I want to do. And I think it's way harder than people think. I think a lot of people just look at it and it seems so fun. But I think it's so crazy to me that so many people will say, yeah, let me do a poly. But then if you ask them to they won't even do one. So the same people who never been married, never tried marriage, never wanted to be married or nothing will say, fuck it, give me two instead of one. So you can't commit to one woman, but you commit to two. You can't deal with one woman mouth, but you can deal with two. You can't deal with it. That's amazing to me. That's what I think literally. Like what people be saying, oh yeah, give me 2 women. So you gonna control 2 bank accounts, but you can't control 1. You all this stuff because you still the alpha. So that's why I love what Dr. said. The alpha doesn't mean that you get all this. No, you still have to have control over this whole stable. So now you keep people to this stable. That's more pieces in the puzzle. As a manager, the more people you manage, the more people applaud because they know that's more moving pieces. But it's crazy how a person who never managed one person can say, "Hey, shit, sign me up for 2." And that's all. That's my theory on poly. That I see a lot of people in the crowd clapping, jumping up and down, and yeah, Dr. Umar, boy, you said a word there. And they haven't even had a functional relationship with a girlfriend. And that's amazing to me. Go ahead, Chris.
Well, I think we still disagree together, respectfully. I think that what the problem is, we take a monogamous mindset into a poly relationship, and that's what we cannot do. Just like Sarah said, monogamous women are selfish. They only think about their self and their happiness and what they can get and what's advantageous for them. I think in a poly relationship, it's about the unit. It's about the team. As far one of the biggest knots on poly is that the man need to be able to afford 2 women. I think that, again, that's a monogamous mindset. In a poly relationship, you got 2-3 people working together, working with each other. And he also, Demario also talked about different, being able to control or handle 2 different mindsets. I think that's what the beauty of poly is. She has someone that connects with her on a level that it can probably lessen some of the arguments. The things that you don't want to do, she can probably go with the sister wife and do those things. As far as even with the sex thing, one of the biggest complaints from married men is sexless marriages. I think with this, you're not pounding on one woman way too much because you got a high sex drive. Now you can somewhat switch it up, or you may have this one that has the matching sex drive and this one doesn't, but this one does so many other things. I think this, as far as we have a crisis, a singular parent crisis. I didn't say single mother crisis. I said a singular parent crisis because a lot of the single mother situations are chosen. But we do have a singular parent crisis in our community. We do have a missing father crisis in our community, and this can be one of the sovereigns of it. What else? I think that, let's just say you got 3 people in a triad and one wants to start a business. In a monogamous relationship, it would be quite hard for half of the relationship to not work and just try to venture off and start a business. In a poly relationship, you're only taking away 1/3 of the income, and you can still, that house can still survive because you're basically funneling 3 incomes into a house. So I think that what the best way to think of a poly relationship is getting away with the monogamous mindset. It's more of a team unit. It's more of an unselfishness. It's more that I'm not competing with, they're not competing together with each other. We are building something here. We're building healthy kids that can be in a better school district, that can have better education and just have a better financial base when they grow up. That's my opinion.
Chris, can I add something though? Before I go to Jose, can I add something? Listen, I don't know if I'm agreeing with Mario on this. It takes, even being a player, it takes energy. It takes some mental energy. It definitely takes some physical energy. So I know of 3 poly relationships, right? But the dudes that are in those relationships, I gotta admit, are very mature. They are the center of those relationships. So it's not a sexual thing. But those dudes really, it takes a lot. You're managing 3 women, 3 different energies. They each one dude. I've seen it. I understand.
So Chris just highlighted amazing scenarios. I want to ask you this: 3 girls that just get along perfectly?
No, I don't, and that's why I said it takes a specific woman. It takes a non-selfish woman. It takes a non-monogamous mindset.
Out of all the women, I ain't saying
that's nonsense.
Out of all the women, Do you know 3 women that just don't fight? I'm saying because now I know friends who've been friends.
You can't hold a poly relationship up to that level because you're arguing monogamous relationships.
I'm saying you not let me finish. What are you talking about? How? It's nobody else in my relationship, Chris. What are you talking about? It's me and my wife. So if it's me, my wife, and another girl,
and you guys argue.
Them two can argue. Yeah. So listen, what I'm saying. If you let me talk, me and her can argue. That's one argument. Not me. So what happened when her and her argue? I don't have that. That's why I actually.
Well, you have a mediator. What you have is a mediator.
No, I
Who gonna be the mediator?
To mediate. No matter how you say, I don't have an argument to mediate. It's only argument in this house could be me and her. That's it. Right now, the more women I add, no matter who's the mediator, you can the king to mediate. It's still more arguments. That's what all I'm saying. And I asked you a question. I'm not saying you're wrong. You just said you're gonna have these women you speak of, and I'm just asking you, do you know any of those kind of women? That's all I'm asking. I'm not saying.
Well, I think some people are in success. Do I personally know any? No, but I have seen successful. Well, what I see from the outside is successful poly relationships. But I've seen more unsuccessful monogamous relationships. I've seen more unsuccessful and full of arguing monogamous relationships.
And I think that's just everything. You see more. We stay in that society in the United States. You've seen more 2 people marriages than you'll ever see poly. So the ratio gonna be way more. You'll never see more.
Yeah.
So that's a no brainer to say you see more of this than that. You always gonna see more of that. So
but that doesn't make it not the truth.
Huh? Yeah, I'm saying it doesn't.
But it doesn't make it not the truth. We don't know the divorce rate. We don't know the divorce rate in poly relationships. We know the divorce rate in monogamous relationships.
How is it be a divorce rate? They don't get married though.
Because you can't. Because
we need to get data.
It's not legal.
Poly relationship.
It's not legal.
We need to get
poly relationship. People get married.
What if
it's not legal?
What if poly relationships are more successful? What if the statistics show that poly relationships are more successful?
I'm asking you. I'm not saying. You keep saying. I'm asking you questions. I'm not saying you're wrong. You keep saying you know. Yeah. You said you know. I don't.
No, I didn't say I know.
You said I know more.
I didn't say I know.
You said you know successful poly relationships. I don't know none. I know none. Let's get that straight. You just said you know something. I don't know nobody who poly.
What I said was,
we can run it back. You said you know what poly
see on the outside. I don't know what's inside.
I don't know
what I see on the outside.
No, so I don't have no idea about a poly relationship. So I'm asking. I can only tell you about the people who everybody I know who married is just 2 people. That's it. I'm totally. That's why I don't speak bad on it. I just tell you I wouldn't want to do it. So I want to know because I don't know nobody. So the scenarios you gave, I'm going with what you said. I'm just saying that means there have to be these people that exist, and I'm saying I just don't think that. I mean, you're saying that these women are for somebody who's saying that women are most of the time selfish, spoiled, all these characteristics. What are you gonna find these 2 women that who just get along? They give you they manage their finances great. They let a man come in and just mediate a dispute between 2 women. These are some hell of a women. They're gonna let for the coarseness of the black household. Where are these women at?
Well, I don't deny that they're unique women. I don't deny that. But you can get a regular run-of-the-mill women anywhere. What we should be trying to find, whether it's monogamous or poly, we should be trying to find extraordinary women, especially women that's very cooperative with you and willing to get under your program as a man. But do I think that it's unique? Yes. Do I think it would be hard to find? Yes. But that's just like a really good woman to marry too.
I agree.
They both are pretty hard to find.
That's my point. I'm agreeing 1,000% with that. So I'm saying, if I did it the first time, you want me to roll the dice and do that shit again?
Well, I think that what I think is this. I think that the people, I don't know this because I've never been in a poly relationship, although I've dated women with kids, which is similar. But at the same time, I've never been in a poly relationship. What I think is they have support groups, meaning like Facebook groups and places that they go. Because normally when you have a niche relationship, just like they have It's like the alternate lifestyle, like gay. They have places that they go, they congregate, and they can meet with each other. Just like swingers, all these subsections of relationships have their own little groups. I'm not in it because I've never been there, but I do think that they do exist. What I think what we should do is try to take data on the relationships that there is. Because if we was to say, let's say we polled 100 poly relationships, how many of those would be successful? I don't know the numbers, but what if somebody told you that 75% of them successful? As if we compare to monogamous relationships, which is 25% successful. I'm just saying we need more data on it. And since we have a nation that we don't really want to try it in person, because we do it all the way in our personal life. We always do that. Robin, no, you stop. But again, it's something that we should examine. We are statistically the lowest paid, the lowest financial group in this world. The only way to do that is by coming together. That's just period. I know that most people don't care about us as a people. They only care about what's advantageous to them and what's good for them. But as a people, it's something that I think that we should actually look into.
And I agree with that. But I think that just fall on deaf ears to me when you don't start with at least one. Like that message can't come from somebody who's single. Because that means it's somebody out there who don't. That means it's a person out there who can use your income. At least one. At least one. Like two is better than one. I know 3 is better than 2. 4 is better than keep going. But at least get one. Because right now, that's all I'm saying. Because
normally in a monogamous relationship, the power structure is man take care of woman. That's normally how it is. We're told to pay the bills.
If I'm in a poly relationship,
Chris,
hold on.
That's in a monogamous relationship from a monogamous mindset. That's from a monogamous mindset. If you go into a poly relationship, it's 3 people taking care of each other. It's not one man trying to take care of a whole family. It's a unit that's working all together.
Did they go, Cheryl?
Hell no. Hell no.
They ain't go
Speak
yet.
up. Say it with your chest. Don't be back there showing all your good teeth.
Shit, y'all back and forth and having just a great old time. I'm just going to listen.
Y'all.
Yeah. But either way, Mario, I'm 100% agree with you. That is hard to manage. 2 attitudes, 2 periods, 2 all of that. You got to get under control. And like you said, most guys can't do one. Amber, I got to push back because you were saying about the money makes a difference, things like that. That's pimps, baby. And those are probably relationships all day long. However many women they have, and they handle it, and the women make the money and take care of them. So it could go either way. So you can't just look at it one way. I think in that previous episode that Chris talked about, he was talking about women not wanting to take 2 men, and women told him that was a damn lie. So the best thing I could say about that is do whatever best for you. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? If you see it monogamous, go that way. If you are going to do poly, people do it. There are individuals out there that are willing to. If that's what floats your boat, do it. Just be honest, and the shit will work. When it don't work, it's because you don't know what the fuck you're doing. To be honest to you, you're probably lying and you messed the whole damn thing up. After that, like Chris said, it is a unit. They all get together and make sure that everybody all right. Does that mean that they don't have attitudes and temper tantrums and all that other stuff? Absolutely not. They have them because they're real human beings. They have problems. It's just magnified by however many women or however many men you got in your poly, whatever you got. And that's just pretty much it. It don't matter. So if it floats your boat and you want 2 women, you can handle that expense plus that headache. Go right for it, my brother. If you're a woman and you want it, I'm going to tell you to go for it. My sister, it is what it is. It's America. Everybody do what they want to do. Just make sure whatever you're doing works for you.
Disagreeing with Chris. I was saying the point because I feel this. The average poly relationship I see, every time I see them talk, it was a relationship that started as 2 people and they added somebody
and they brought in.
But it'd be so crazy that everybody skipped the 2. It's always a woman and a man, and most likely a woman chooses some kind of way that man says we can bring in, and this woman agrees another woman. It don't start as 3. It starts as 2. So I think that's putting the cart before the horse. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying functioning what Chris is saying is not. Yes, that makes complete sense what he's saying. Logistics, it makes crazy sense. All I'm saying is I can't talk about landing the plane before I even took off. Like, I think as a community, as Black people, we need to focus on just having functional relationships. Then say we're going to work on being committed. Then say we're gonna work on getting married. Then say we can bring somebody else in a relationship. I think it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna just get poly.
Now that's real. Now I can agree with you on that. What you were saying about the functional relationships, we do got to work on that. Because as we were talking about that, we always try to talk from our standpoint here as men. And that's the best thing that we can do, get you one before you even try to talk about getting more. But I think the reason why I stopped and was talking about that was because we can't, I'll be remiss if we go this hour and don't speak on my guy. I love Trevor Noah to death. Very brilliant guy. He's African. He's of the light-skinned community, and he's one that I'll accept. He said some things in his farewell speech on the Daily Show. We're gonna miss him, but he gave an ode to black women. You know what I'm saying? And that's real. I applaud everything about what he said. And he talked about what the black women taught him and why he was saying that. And I saw women come together, clap their hands and repost and all this other good stuff, which I know we all love our flowers, right? Which he gave. But then when he was talking about what they teach, I wanted to know, well, what did those women teach? But then more importantly, because I said we speak from a man's standpoint, how come he didn't speak about what the men taught him? And that's where we got to hold ourselves accountable, because we teach, like you were saying, Mario, can't just take him to the park and stuff like that. You got to teach him how to deal inside of life itself. For him to skip across all the men and go straight to the woman, that's a problem, I feel like, for us here inside of that black community. You understand? Because why didn't the man lead him for him to say those things? But then also, too, well, I say that because, again, absentee does teach a lesson to kids, guys. So if you're paying attention and you're not in your child's life, tighten up. We're going to be the first ones to tell you. I'll be the first one to tell you. You understand what I'm saying? And then for the women that are there that are doing their thing, doing the best that they can, you know, kudos to y'all. But sorry about that. I was saying this because he was saying everything that taught him. But it seems like y'all skipped one important lesson with that young brother. And that was to teach him how to love y'all. Or did y'all teach him how not to love y'all? Because when I look down the list of the women that he dated, I didn't see anybody that looked like us. And that bothered me. But nobody, you know, took a moment to pick up on that. So I just wanted to kind of hear some insight on that from you guys before we got out of here. How did that make y'all feel when you heard the speech? Did it warm your heart? You know what I'm saying? That he gave, you could see your mom, your aunt, your grandmother inside of that speech. Or did you kind of look at him and say, Negro, please?
I didn't watch the speech.
Well, I did see the speech that you're talking about. And I thought it was profound. I don't ever want to say that it's a bad thing to celebrate black women and what you've learned from black women and what you what you've gotten from them, because they give so much. But I was used to this. I see countless athletes get up on them stages, accept awards, get drafted, and thank their mother, when there is a trail of men that imparted into that young man. There's a group of coaches who coached that young man for free, that picked that young man up, bought him lunch, and did all kinds of things for him. That coach that recruited him to that school probably was a man. The athletic director at that school probably was a man. The man that made the school is probably a man. The man that's drafted him is probably a man. The owner of the team that he's going to play is probably a man. So I think a lot of times in these situations, man, I don't have no problem with celebrating black women and what you've learned from them. But again, there is so many black men impart into other black men, and it doesn't get recognized. And I don't know if that's what you took from it. That's what I took from the video. Did you get a chance to see the video, Horace?
No, I didn't watch it at all. But I didn't.
Okay.
I thought the piece was going to be more of an editorial from Zay, so I didn't get a chance to watch it. It was just too much in the news this week.
Oh, came prepared. What about you, Horace? DeMario?
Yeah, I watched it. I was gonna go on the lines of what you just said, Chris, because I think, like you said, I definitely thought it was amazing. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like the way he articulated it, and his thanks and stuff, I did think it was very well put together. Of course, he's good with words, so I didn't expect any less from him. And I think that was just his. Sometimes in life, women have a different effect on men because I see even in my household, a lot of times like my son gonna remember the last thing my wife do because she gonna be the one who hug him a lot more probably. She gonna be the one to say, you can have the cookies a little bit more when I say no. When I tell him to straighten up a little bit more, it's gonna be like a little more sternness coming from my way, and it's gonna be a lot more love, nurturing coming from her way. You know what I'm saying? So I can tell sometimes in life it's just having a father that we the one who do a lot of the dirty work and put in a lot of the groundwork, but moms get the praise because they do the putting the band-aids on and the kissing the boo-boos and all that stuff like that makes you feel a little better inside. So the first person you want to kind of thank is the people that warms your heart when it's a heartfelt moment. So I think that's what it was. I think sometimes, not even if it's being malicious, you do on those spotlights forget, like Chris said, the coach that talk to your mom for you to come to that school, to give you the opportunity, that mailed your tape off to get you that opportunity because you remember your mom waking up 5 o'clock in the morning, driving you to school every morning. See what I'm saying? It's like that superseded the coach doing his job, but then you forgot the coach that stayed out to practice with you all those hours away from his family to make sure that you know how to catch a ball. You just remember your mom sending you a care package to college to help you eat her favorite casseroles while you was in college. You see what I'm saying? And it's those are the things that you always forget. And I think that's what I got out of it. I don't think it was malicious, but I do think that it did seem like it was. I can see what Zay's point was because it did seem like it was an absent uh a hole that was left open from black men in his life. Like he didn't, like it was none that left a mark on his life. So I could see where Zay coming from too though. So, but for the people who didn't see it, I do suggest you watch it though, because it is a good speech.
So just so I clarify too what I'm saying, his speech, I said that in the beginning, his speech was very good. It was a very good speech. I heard what he said, but inside of it, it's like we get a lot of people that preach to us certain things and they get accolades for doing it, but then they don't really be doing what they talking about. And it's like, come on, man, you feel me? But then also too, like I said, as far as the guys come into play, like we got to ask ourselves a real question why we're not being mentioned. Was it because you weren't there or were you not doing? But what you said already makes plenty of sense. They do that founder side. They don't understand that practice that you went to, that dad was the one who worked those 2 jobs that you were talking about to give her the gas to be able to take you there. Just don't get mentioned in that, right? And I just think that for us as fathers, we got to do a better job of trying to make sure that that our presence known, just not our money. That's all I was saying inside of it. Nothing against what he said and what he did outside of, you got a lot of suspicious people on your roster that don't look like us, to be shouting about women, but you're talking about the women that took care of you. So I understand that, but somebody gonna look into you and gonna hold court on you. Just
that's his preference.
Makes sense.
But
it makes sense. But those weren't the ladies. Those weren't the ladies that were retweeting your tweet. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, come on, man. But that's just my opinion. I'm one of a whole bunch of men. That's what I saw.
Cheryl, before you go, let's.
Having these grand ideas of people like, oh, Trevor, you're so smart and you're so. And then I'm like, who do you think teaches me? Who do you think has shaped me, nourished me, informed me? From my mom, my my aunt, all these black women in my life, but then in America as well. I always tell people, if you truly want to learn about America, talk to black women. Yeah, because unlike everybody else, black women cannot afford to around and find out. Black people understand how hard it is when things go bad, especially in America, but any place where black people exist, whether it's Brazil, whether it's South Africa, wherever it is, when things go bad, black people know that it gets worse for them. But black women in particular, they know what shit is, genuinely. People always be shocked. They'll be like, why do black women turn out the way they do in America? Why do they vote the way they do? Yeah, because they know what happens if things do not go the way it should. They cannot afford to around and find out. And to black women who have taught me, all of them, I mean, the scholars online, the authors, everybody, the Roxanne Gays, the Tracy McMillan Cottons, I'll remember the names, the Zoe Tamudzis, brilliant, brilliant women. taken the time to inform me, to educate me, to argue with me. You know, the Toronto Burks who, you know, laughed with me, talking about everything from.
Is that gaslighting a little bit?
No, let me stop. Let me stop. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. If you get a chance, go watch it. It was beautiful. Old to black women. It was amazing.
But yeah, he still prefers someone else. So that's why what Zay was saying. That's why I was just like, okay, it's cool. But yeah, you say all this and you have accolades for all this, but you date the opposite. Now it don't make sense to me. So why are you really saying this?
Sure.
That's why Mario point. That's why Mario point comes into play though. His aunts, his mom, and all those people. But you know, like I said, those aren't the ones that's retweeting it and things like that. So don't
that's why I say that's his preference.
And I think
that's the cop out.
Yeah, and I think black women more like right now. You're more likely, Cheryl. Maybe not you. I don't know because you seem to be a little more chip off the old block. But women extend their hand faster than most black men will. I'll say this. We're gonna sit back and say, "Let me see what's going on." And then black women go, "Hey, how you doing? Let me," you know what I'm saying? So a lot of time, all the people that reached out to him and did all this kind of stuff, it's not that black men wouldn't have. A lot of time, black women are though. They're just being realistic. Like when I go to a new company, the women always, how you doing? If you need any help, and the black men have helped me a lot, but they came maybe a month.
It's your chest.
No, watch yourself, man. No, this man. No, but I think. So I want to ask this before you leave, because I always ask this question because I love to hear this. That leads off of what you and Zay were just talking about. Do you think a black man can marry outside his race and say that he's pro-black and not marry a black woman?
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy!
Honesty is the best policy.
Yeah, what the hell, Cheryl? Nah, you ain't come on here. Listen, Cheryl.
I'm trying to respect y'all show.
No, the hell it is. You own the show. You're a part of the show. We want 100% Cheryl.
Okay,
we get so weekly with Chris and Z.
My thing when it comes to being pro-black, I just feel like people just confuse. Okay, I'm trying to say this the right way because I'm Jamaican and my speech get all intertwined.
Chat.
Pro-black and supporting black people and black movement and all that stuff to me is like two different things. I feel like if I'm professional, if I'm a pro football player, I'm not going to go out there and try to play soccer because that's my profession. That's what I do. This is who I am, blah, blah, blah. So when they say they're pro-black, I just feel like this is who you are. This is what you do. This is who you are. You know what I'm saying? But then for me to turn around and marry a white man, I don't feel like I can be like, I'm pro-black anymore because my preference and my choice was not to find the right black man, but to settle, quote unquote, for a white dude because he's checked all the boxes of whatever I got going on right now. A lot of people go outside of their race because they've been hurt so much by their race. They've been deceived so much by their race. They have so much pain and they won't go to therapy by that race. So it's just like, you know, at the end of the day, I've been hurt by a black man, but I still want a black man. Like that's just my thing. When I got hurt by him, I tried to figure out what it was. I went to therapy. I had discussions. I talked to a lot of women. I talked to a lot of men, trying to get everybody's standpoints, not on that particular situation, but what they would do if a situation like that occurred with them. Because my opinion or my reaction, not response, but my reaction may not always be right. Maybe I need to take more time with him. Maybe I need to listen more. Maybe I need to, you know, stop being so reactive to things. And over the years, I've learned that. My best friend, he's a guy. And he was just like, sure, your problem is you don't think logically. You think emotionally. And da, 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 da. He told me this over 10 years ago. And since then, I stopped thinking with my emotions. I started thinking about what makes sense in that time, in that situation. So, but for me, I can't even see myself being with nobody. But I'd rather be single than date outside my race. And that's just me.
No, you don't.
You know? But you holding yourself back from whatever. If God can't give it to me, I don't want it. Like straight up. I don't. Oh, it's gonna come in this package. You hold it to your wife. God knows the desires of my heart. It don't come in another race. And regardless of what, I'm missing out then. I'm okay and I'm happy with myself.
I'm voting you back on to come back again, just so you know.
Oh, thanks, Zay.
There you go. Yeah. Come on. Straight shooter. Let's go.
I don't. But Mario, I don't feel like you're pro-black if you marry outside your race. And I'm not saying that, you know, for You know, my sister, she date people outside the race and all. You know, everybody teaches on. It's just not for me.
You're an ally at that point. We appreciate the effort and thing, but you're an ally. You're just not pro-black.
That's it.
Hey, I know some good interracial, some beautiful interracial couples. And I'm not saying that can't exist. I'm not saying you love somebody. I'm just gonna always push back on anybody who say they pro-black and
don't procreate
they outside of their race, outside of being black. I'm not saying that the person you have don't make your life better. It's not your person and all that. That's great because I'm looking at it. I've witnessed that. I've witnessed people say, you know, date outside their race, and that person is good for them. And I'm not. They're beautiful people, but I don't want to hear that you know pro-black. But I just push back on that because I see it's a lot of heavy hitters who have end up marrying white women.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I say with that is, you know, on a level that I do agree with you guys, but the ironic thing about that, some of the most biracial people are some of the most pro-black and pro-black activist people that you ever meet. Sidney Poitier, Angela Davis, who else? Stokely Carmichael.
But you coming up in a time, Chris, I can cut you off. They came up in a time where it was that word you just used was not a word. Those were all black people back then. Now
I totally understand.
Back then, those were all black people. They had the black experience. They was black, so they had to pioneer heart. But I'm saying now you can, the lighter skin that you get, you can play that. You know what I'm saying? But you're gonna have your kids is gonna be black no matter what. I'm just saying, as that person, like, you know, what make me always ask this is Marcus Garvey's second wife, or like when I look at people like second wife, like, you know what I'm saying? Some people like, dang, he did a lot for black people, but he ended up marrying a white woman. So do I take that? You know what I'm saying? Like, how does that? I'm just a real question because you can't say he wasn't pro-black, but then he ended up marrying a white woman. So
you're talking about Frederick.
I mean Frederick Douglass. I'm saying Mark. Yeah, Frederick Douglass. Yeah. Like all Frederick Douglass did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that always. That's why I like to ask people that because I still that's a hard question for me to answer because Frederick Douglass always that monkey wrench in the into my personal feelings because you know.
Did a lot.
As a my person, question would be like, why?
Yeah, that's why.
That would always be my question, like, why? You endure so much, you've done so much for our people, but then you turn around and marry something else. Why? What is the trauma, or what is it behind that to say I've seen these people in this type of light so much that I don't want to associate with that no more? Or you know what I mean? Like what? Like things got to make sense.
Stick it to the man.
Well, I think this, Cheryl. I think it is. You just say, I got to put me first, and this person makes me feel my optimal happiness. And even though I know it doesn't help the cause, it just makes, I'm going to be selfish in this moment, and it just makes me feel good. I've done enough for the cause. Because Frederick Douglass married her at the end of the fight. All the other stuff was done. And I felt like at that point in his life, he was like, I just want to be happy. And this person made me happy. So now that I don't have to bring her along to rallies, I don't have to. But then I kind of be like, after all of that, then you see, that's why it's like, I want to know. Tootie, tell me something.
I want to get Corey's opinion on this because he dated a multitude of white women in the Sun Coast. What are you saying?
Never, not a one. Never. I have yet to cross that hurdle. No,
never.
No, they usually like other dudes. I won't say who on the panel is the white girl.
I went to Dwyer. We had a goddamn white winner, boy, over there.
Never had a desire either.
Man, amazing.
Well, listen to me, Blackness. When you look at Frederick Douglass, the odds of him marrying someone on his level back then, or I should say level up. So to Mario's point, don't act like we didn't do chess moves as well when we married up, because the odds of Frederick Douglass marrying a woman of color that could be impactful financially was probably off. So you look at him, the person that he married was financially wealthy. So from there,
Well, that's the why. When I say it got to be something.
But listen, it's no different than when we complain about black men marrying white women. So, give you a quick example. So when you look at, they say, well, why these black dudes always marrying the white women? Because when they go to these NFL parties and all these places, they're strategically in a room with nothing but white women. Right. So guess what? They're pushed that way. Now we just cut off another, what you call it, generational wealth thing. Sorry to say that. That's just the truth. So with Frederick Douglass,
because that was true.
Yeah, so he might have took the level up, but I think allies are important. I got a friend that's marrying a white guy in Mexico in a couple months. Dude grew up in the culture. I consider him to be an ally. You know what I mean? But it's interesting. You just got to acknowledge that you do got allies when you look at Spelman College, Howard University. These are HBCUs named after white people. NAACP was founded by Jewish people. Like some of our history, man, we've just had to accept what could be considered a loss for the long term, for the win on the long term scale. That's my take.
Those are white people?
Yes.
Spelman?
Yes. Howard? Yes. Go check him out.
I didn't know that.
NAACP? Yeah.
Okay. Well, as we bring the show to an end, I want to give Cheryl the opportunity to give us all your contacts. Tell us what business ventures you got going on. Just give us the whole layout, and we want to appreciate you showing up tonight. We enjoyed you.
It's funny.
Yeah, I ain't even got time. Okay, anywho. Everything that I have on social media is Cheryl Couture. So if they put Cheryl Couture in, anything, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, YouTube, whatever, it's all Cheryl Couture. I just retired, so right now I'm just enjoying life, and that's it. I retired. I was a hairstylist for a very, 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 very long time, and I'm on to something else.
You're being modest. She was the Frank Lucas of weaves. She was pushing that all over the world.
I had that weight, baby. I had that weight, Annie.
Yeah, you were pushing that weight.
I sure was.
I ain't mad at you.
What made you give up the game? What makes you give up the game?
I didn't give up, but it's just, sometimes you just want to do something different. Sometimes you want to pivot in life, and I didn't want to be, they just had a lady like 90 years old still behind the chair. I didn't want to be her. So I was just like, I can make money doing anything, so I just choose to do something different.
What are some of the pitfalls that you would tell to up and coming hairstylists?
Some of the pitfalls is not budgeting your money.
Some of the tips.
Yeah, not budgeting your money. Like when our cash flow, the money is like cash in hand at all times. We get paid on demand, stuff like that. So the way you get the money, sometimes the way you spend the money. You're like, oh, I got clients tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. But you don't know what's gonna happen tonight. You don't know who's gonna call out tomorrow, cancel their appointment. Something might happen to you. So, and if you don't work, you don't get paid. So you just have to make sure to be mindful of your money and make very smart investments with your money. So I would tell, I tell people to do that all the time. People who used to follow me or whatever, I would give these tips all the time. Own some real estate. As a stylist, there's so much money out there for you when it comes to business loans and things like that. Structure your business properly. Get everything that you can get while you can get it, and capitalize off of it. And don't be scared. So a lot of hairstylists think because they don't have verifiable income, I'm like, all you gotta do is just make bank deposits, but they try to make it seem hard, because like I said, it's a cash heavy business. But just line things up for you, and don't be scared to pay your taxes. That's it.
What about your fingers?
Don't be scared.
I've always heard women have issues after giving up hairstyling with their fingers. Has that happened to you?
But insure your fingers. They will tell you get insurance policies on your fingers, your limbs, things like that. Get insurance policies on it. That's all. So when it go out of commission, you get a check.
Come through with the knowledge on the sheriff.
As a fellow person in your line of work, my homeboy here is a barber. Give us your final comments.
Your homeboys look. Barbara, what?
Oh, me, you know, I'm
Barbara,
Slash. I'm Jamaican. So, you know, we do everything, Cheryl. You know, I got
you
my
talking
tax
about somebody else. I was like, hold on.
No. Yeah, the one I know only me.
Right.
So, yeah, when I 13, I have 13 jobs. So my next job coming up is tax season. As you see, I brandish in my beautiful Infinity Tax and Beyond Team Fire shirt. Come see me.
That's crazy because I do that too, but go ahead. Go on.
There you go. See, listen, we Jamaican. I was brandishing the Zay Cuts 365 because he still do that. And just like I told y'all before, support for Black brothers that's trying to make a change in the community. Get you a mug. It's Season's Greetings. They only $30. You can cash app us, DM my boy Chris for whatever Bible verse you need on the other side, whatever nickname you would like to see appear when you sip the finest or whatever it is that you sip. Be it coffee, be it wine, whatever. Do it in your mug. Think of us. Thank each and every one of y'all for coming in. I know we went long. You're welcome. We hear it all the time. Hopefully you were able to take something from it. You know, we ask that you come back. We definitely appreciate Cheryl coming on and giving her insight. We had one more topic that we wanted to get over with you guys, but time didn't permit. So tune in. You got to just catch us next week. That's all I got for y'all. Appreciate y'all.
DeMario.
First of all, I want to say thank y'all. You know, it's a lot of things y'all could be doing on a Monday, but y'all here with us. Thank you, Cheryl, for coming on. You know, we always love to have a woman on, especially when they have insight like you do. Because, you know, a lot of times, you know, unicorns exist in the world. So sometimes them coming out the jump into the light, it makes us look a little bad. Because we talk about y'all, but we don't, you know, the world don't get to see y'all. So they think we just talking to myths. So every woman don't have to think like, you know, the quintessential get along game. So thank you for coming on. Yeah, like Horace, I mean, like Chris and Zay been saying all show, it's 'tis the season to be jolly. Please go support. But it's not even about supporting us. This is actually a quality item. Listen, the older we get, and that's our demographic and age group, most of us drink coffee or tea. So why not drink it stylishly? Why not drinking in something that's actually porcelain? That's a good filler with solid. That's a good. Listen, I've washed mine tremendously in my dishwasher, and it's not shipped yet. This is a good quality, ship to your door, initial personalized mug. Please go out today. Don't wait tomorrow. Listen, it's an online society. You can order this today. It could be to you in 2 to 3 days. Listen, thank you in advance. Go do it. And last but not least, Jaleesa Harder, I know you probably listening. Our anniversary is the 14th. Thank you for saying yes to me. Hey, listen, one of the best decisions I ever made in my life was asking you. And I'm happy that that's one of the I didn't get a no there. So I love you. Thank you for being amazing. I look to spend the rest of my life with you. And no matter what Chris said, me and you, we're not adding nobody else.
No Derek Jackson.
Oh man, ASAP Bluto. When is the album coming out for one, and who's featured on it?
Oh man, MC such and such.
Listen, right now I ain't giving out too many details the way they stream and stuff. You know what I'm saying? For sure though, it's coming out though. Hey, I want to say thank everybody tonight. I apologize. I'm in the studio. They can't get the lights right, but I do want to support this product for Christmas. The Black Super Friends coffee mug. Get it. It's $30 for all my fans. All my fans that put Horace #1 fan on their cup, you pay $31 just for you. $31 for that.
Exactly.
Yeah. And
God gonna bless you.
2 for $60. Listen, I'm doing things this Christmas, so I appreciate y'all that support me. Go out and watch some of my reels because that's how I get paid. And hopefully tomorrow I can get Cheryl, who's one of the biggest reel producers out there, to do something with me tomorrow. In fact, I ain't asking. I'm gonna hunt her down tomorrow.
Demanding.
I'm demanding. So yeah, tomorrow.
And you get pretty good too, dog. I must say, man, your reels, man, you get. I like that, man.
You're getting better.
You had me kind of laughing today, man. Good job, man. Good job. Keep it up.
Yeah, I'm nothing
we'll
without
do a class on it.
I've tried.
Yeah, it's some people who can take your tutelage. I'm saying you should do a class on it.
Yeah, maybe I will. Thank you guys for all your support. All right.
Join the Mug Club.
I mean, is that it?
Right.
Yeah, for you to cut it off, man.
No, that ain't. Listen,
we had a smooth ending.
The Mug Club.
Bro, like you don't know.
We didn't pause like
everybody holding their smile. Don't do
That's
Cheryl like this. This is her first time. She ready to go.